Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the BIPOC LGBT Happy Hour. BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, People of Color. Thank everybody for coming in. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing on the screen today?
Happy Friday, everyone.
Hello.
Well, again, thank everybody for coming in. We've got a wonderful show today. A little updates and all that kind of gooey stuff. First, we're just going to kind of break it in. And Lady Sina's got a few things she want to discuss with us.
Just want to know what y'all think about Niecy Nash. So apparently Niecy Nash married a woman this week. The internet, there was some love for her. There was some hate on her. But it's like, I'm not understanding what is it that people don't understand about bisexuality.
I don't either, but I never knew she was even remotely gay. I never even had a
Yo,
clue.
it's September too, though, so it's Bisexual Awareness Month as it is. So her coming out is right on time.
Well, I think it's beautiful, and they look good together.
I didn't know that this month is what?
This month is September is Bisexual Appreciation Awareness Month.
Oh well, cheers to me.
Hey.
Let's go.
Hey.
I didn't know that, but
I didn't either. I've been gay for 20 years and just found that out. Can you give me some more?
Gotta keep this up. So what y'all think about Niecy? Y'all, anybody got any hate for her? Because I think it's great.
I think it's beautiful too.
I feel like the younger generation is part of so much gay content, like on Reno and stuff, and she always had insider queer information. I'm not surprised. I feel like she was like a lot of celebrities were like, if you're gay, you know they're gay, like a see-through closet. But if you're straight, you don't know. I feel like Niecy has been part of those celebrities for a minute.
You think women hide it better?
Yes.
Women are allowed to express sexuality different. So like a lot of women are bisexual and everyone's like, oh, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because a guy would never be able to get away with that.
I personally feel like I didn't know that Niecy Nash was gay, but she just recently divorced her husband and just recently married this woman, and it just happened so quick. So I guess that's why I'm in more shock than ever.
Well, we don't know something about the marriage might have been over just because the divorce was finalized.
Right.
6 months ago. I'm just.
But something had to be going on.
Has been married in the last 2 years. We was not like together like that. And I didn't go right away and get into another relationship. But you know what I'm saying? It could be like that she had already emotionally separated from her marriage and was free, to be swept up in love with somebody else.
She was free to explore.
So now that leads to my next question of why do you think she hid this relationship with this woman for so long?
I want to know
why is she choosing to come out now and in this fashion?
It's bisexual month.
I mean, besides, how did she keep it on the down low?
Correct.
In the public eye, I mean,
correct.
Because black people can't
keep now.
Some people can keep secrets.
Okay.
It's a hell of a secret.
It has to do with as far as timing goes.
Hold on, Baki. What'd you say, Baki?
As far as timing goes, I think it's just like people are realizing how how small of a time we have here on Earth. And then on another, just COVID, everything, we could talk about a whole bunch of stuff there. But then also, too, why she kept it a secret for so long, I think just because, like, when you become a Black celebrity, you have to think about Blackness as a monolith for 5 seconds because Hollywood reduces us to, like, these singular stereotypes that are apparently good for marketing. So if she's thinking about getting cast in roles and stuff, and she's already typecast, I bet she didn't want to, she probably didn't want to fumble the bag. I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to be internalize homophobia or anything, but she didn't want to fumble the bag.
Or maybe it just by it being so open now and there's so much going on, she felt comfortable in saying, hey, I've been keeping this in the bag. Well, she kept it in her bag, her purse, her back pocket, and everything because no one knew. So I guess she just felt comfortable and just said, "Hey, it's time. Let me know. Let's do this." Because
She's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
she really could have kept the wedding on the DL. You know what I mean? Until TMZ find it, because TMZ gonna look. You know, but until they find it, I think she could have kept that on the DL for a while. But I'm just
I didn't know Wanda Sykes was gay. It took a long time for me to know she was gay.
For real?
Wanda Sykes, yeah. Oh.
But see, I think she done said it a million times.
Yeah.
And
I
so
think that
I'm more
I think
shocked
that
with Niecy Nash than Wanda Sykes. You know what I mean?
I like Niecy Nash. I think that the lady caught her at a vulnerable time in her life, and she decided to try something different, and she fucking liked it. So she
Woman.
just went all the fuck away with it. That's my thoughts.
She loved
You know,
that people, didn't she?
And so
Live
now,
your
so
best
of
life.
course, and so of course we know that she liked men because she has been married a couple times and she has some kids. And she was married for quite some time. So those are my thoughts. She was caught at a vulnerable time in her life. And I heard, now I don't know, I haven't experienced it, but I've heard and I can understand it. A woman knows how another woman wants to feel and be treated. I get that. I get that 100%. Because that is probably, I can see
You know
that.
what I feel like you touching on? There's this trend on like young black YouTube, like like black vloggers that like you can see how like gender and sexuality are fluid because like there's a whole sub community of lipstick lesbians or bisexual women who go from like being with men to like loving studs and like or like loving masculine women and like that's like there's like stereotypes like even on Instagram like of bisexual women. Like now I'm not saying the stereotypes are positive. I'm just saying like if you look at media content as it is right now, what you're talking about is seen.
Basically you're saying is on both sides of the road because the same stereotypes they have for men they have for women. But flipping it the other way, like you said, is her husband may been her bra. You know how the woman be our beard. The husband may have been her bra. He might have already known that she was bisexual.
Her cover up.
Yeah, a cover up.
One thing I can say, we did not know who Jessica Betts is, but I guarantee you from this day forth, we will. And she's gone now. She wants to make a lot of.
Who is she?
Yeah, so can we go ahead and get into who Jessica Betts is? Can we go ahead and get into who she is?
For the PLC weekend, I'm about to find the bitch and bring her here. Shit,
who is she?
Can we get into who she is?
She's a musician.
We are about to know. That's my thought. But I'm looking for the bitch because I'm falling behind her for POC weekend shit.
Yeah, she's a musician. She's a musician.
Hell yeah.
And she has done she was on Claws also. She did one of their songs on Claws. And she also did it live on Claws. So she is known. I mean, I'm not saying she's known like Beyonce, but she
ain't known. But she's about to be. About to be. No,
Do you all know anything other than that? Do you all know anything other than that though?
She's black.
She sang at Niecy Nash's wedding to her other husband.
Really?
You say Jessica Betts was married to a man too?
I didn't say that.
No, Jessica Betts sang. No, Simon said Jessica Betts sang at her other husband.
Niecy Nash's previous wedding.
That's some tea.
That sounds like tea.
Hold on. That was on Claws.
Quiet as kept.
She sung at Niecy Nash's wedding on the show Claws. That wasn't in real life.
Oh, I thought it was in real life.
Me too. I was like,
2011.
Oh, she's doing it.
You know what was on the show?
You were real good.
From what I heard on ET, because
Have a good one.
When you texted and said we was talking about, I had to Google it. So
okay, so they said it wasn't true.
It said it was on Claws. She sung it live at the wedding. On set. So
Oh, okay.
Love then, and you know, because that's been a while. Claw's been a while, about 3-4 years now.
So
Nikki,
do
did
you
you say
all
something?
personally go ahead?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So do you all personally feel like this decision she's made, the way that she came out as public as she did, is this going to hinder or hurt her career now?
I think she'll be able to smooth sail in. She was already in. To whip this on everybody, with everybody already having the understanding of the LGBTQ plus community, it made it a lot easier. This is a good time for her to come out. Nobody really threw a negative eye at her. It's just like another one bit the dust.
I
That's
do
my
feel
opinion.
I feel like she like really had enough celebrity status. She had enough clout
Yeah.
that she could do this, that she could fall back on. And it sucks that Black artists, Black actress, Black everybody has to have a certain amount of privilege or money or status in order
Correct.
to have like, to be able to come out. But like that's because like coming out is still seen as a white thing.
But we can't say that either because look at Monique. Monique said something. She had the right status, the right clout, and the right money. She said the wrong thing, and she was shut out completely.
She was blackballed. She was blackballed for other reasons.
So it doesn't matter the status. You know, it's just that we as the people should not look at her by what she do in her bedroom and what she do on her screen. You know what I mean? That's what
Sex sells.
I mean, I ain't looking for her to have sex. I mean, shit. I ain't looking at
Well, I mean, you know, well, whatever she's doing behind Bev, that's why we're
Well, that
sitting here
makes
talking
sense.
about it now.
That opens the door for more things for her to do. You know, more lesbian roles. You
I
know,
think-
Or this is kind of more women roles that just happen to have that content. You know,
right.
I think it gives her more availability.
Or
She
think-
could have been doing lesbian roles though, like
Right.
or
And I think in today's society, people are more accepting of different things with people, and it doesn't matter. She already has proved herself who she is as Niecy Nash and as a person, and that's who they're looking at as who she is as a person. No matter who she loves, no matter what she do, who she do it with, and how she do it. You know, she
10
has
years
already
ago.
proved herself. She has already proved herself in that status to me. You know, and she loved who she loved, you know, and who am I to judge? You know, people that's just what they do, you know, and right now society is more accepting of it now. You know, gay relationships, man on man, women on women, and heterosexual, everything is accepting nowadays. So
She was already she was already seen as a queer icon too. If you think about the level of movies she's been in, TV shows, I feel like she's already had a lot of queer fans. And
Did she have a lot of business? Did she do a lot of shows?
Yes, like I'm telling you, Reno was important for gay culture. Y'all should look up Reno. It was like it's controversial.
Yeah, I know Reno 911. That was a hit. That still comes on.
She was the mother.
Well, now that she came out, people are gonna look back at those shows.
She's been on a few Netflix original movies too.
Has she?
She was on like 2 of
them.
And then a Lifetime movie too. Like she's been acting.
She balling it. She made it to Lifetime.
Yeah, she's acting.
She did a real good one on Lifetime recently about a missing girl. She was the mother.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
She played the took the baby from the hospital.
Yeah.
It was like based on a true story or something. But yeah.
So does this mean our culture is changed? Us as Black people, our culture is changing and becoming more accepting of the world at large?
Well, I personally won't say that because Steiner did make a comment earlier saying that some people were discriminating against her coming out the way she did. So I don't think nothing is changing. I think there is slow progression. But I do
the question is who
feel the discrimination.
Who's saying it though?
I think she's just trying something.
So there were people just on the internet, not everybody was giving her love. And then just as a bisexual woman, just speaking from my experience with the community, I get it from like lesbians, you know what I'm saying? And it just, I don't know. I think it's unfair to think that and say some of the things they say about bisexual people, like we can't be monogamous or we're confused and shit like that. This lady found love. I just think that we should be happy because
Right.
then it gives all of us hope who have had our hearts broken. And then, look, you can find love, and she's a woman of a certain age. I'm an older woman, and it's like like it can happen again. That's all. I don't know. And yeah,
That's
Do
the
you give
perfect
credence?
outlook.
Do you give credence to that show, Dave Chappelle, when he said this? He was saying the same thing about LGBT. We're in the same boat, but we don't get along with each other.
Uh-huh.
So we need to change our whole way of culture.
Well, that's a whole different topic right there when you talk about LGBT and us not getting along with each other, because now that's a deep subject for another day. That should be
And I think that should be the subject for next episode.
I mean, they're real because that's the truth right there. We hate on each other hard, worse than the straight folks do. Even though they treat us like, well, we need to do that subject another.
That's another. That's
we
another
can
show.
do that another show.
Because I'm ready to but yeah, I think that's a good topic for another day.
But it is beautiful to see a black representation of gay love, or black love.
Black gay love.
Yes, it is a beautiful representation.
We did
I'm
the
going to
first one that done that because I don't remember seeing any black gay women. And
I personally have never.
So she's really the first.
Kudos for that.
Came out.
Maybe. I think so.
Kevin, what's your first black female to come out with a wedding?
Oh,
can you hear us?
Other than Wanda Sykes,
Wanda didn't come out. She came in and admitted she was gay, but she never got married and did all of that.
but I thought she got married.
She is married. She
She's
married
She's married to that first woman.
Oh, to a white woman. Oh,
Yeah.
kids.
You said, oh.
Right. Yeah, she never did a wedding or
Raven
anything.
Simone, ain't she?
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, Raven.
Raven Simone
Yeah, I
also,
think that's it.
also married a white woman.
Yeah, but she just did that recently.
Who is
Right.
that?
Raven.
Oh, Raven Simone. Yeah. Okay.
Raven,
Yeah.
that's my
She
baby.
married to a white girl too, right?
But she did a white girl too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah,
gotta give it to
I can
Nicki
think
and Nash.
Yeah,
But
Niecy Nash is like the only one.
The only one.
We don't
I'm
even
trying
got no gay men out there that's gay and got married, black on black, that's out there either, is it?
That's the T.
No, because even what's his name? Oh, off the news, I'm a CNN. He married a white man. Don Lemon.
Oh,
He married a white
don't
man.
count.
Yeah, he married a white man.
She just now got her black card back like this year, so when she
Allow her to have her card. Do
Yeah.
not take Don's card.
Her black card back.
Ooh,
yeah, he got his black card back after the George Floyd. Because I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed, but like this year, all of his coverage of anything that was black stuff, like he been showing up for black people,
And showing out.
and showing out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he still got the cave bitch on his arm. But I mean, hey, that's whatever floats your boat.
Well, to guide, even I want to just kind of ask this as we were right there. For as being black and having to be and have to work with the system, why do we get penalized in order to advance? Because we have to show the system that we're following their rules.
Well, do we
Why
have
do
to?
we get punished? We have to follow their rules. I mean, that's the only way. We can't even get a promotion if we're not following their rules.
I mean, Denzel married black, and he's okay.
Well, we always have a few and all that kind of stuff, but as you see, I mean, just even regular everyday stuff.
I mean, but
You think it's part of the rules, though?
Hey,
that
man,
black
what are you
celebrities gotta
talking
marry
about?
white?
What are you talking about? What are you referring to when you say the rule?
Thank you. That's the question. That's
Well,
the right question.
Look, the white rules. There's a certain
rules
way
are
everything has always had to been done and all that. Now, as blacks, we're starting to expand upon our rules and take our own initiative. Just like getting married and gay and all that. It was predominantly a white thing.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't believe in marriage, but like we could be happy about
Thank
it.
I don't
Thank
need
you. Yeah, I don't either. That's my thing.
I
Thank you, Doc.
guarantee you that's going to be a full topic that we're going to be discussing.
That could be the
Monogamy.
next topic after
Monogamy.
topic.
I'm not gonna be. Let's not get on that one.
Because we got a few topics that we've developed on the line, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are they?
Just chime in.
Hold on. Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me take a few moments out here and pay homage to our. Oh goddamn! My system just kind of stopped on me. I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
What did happen sometime? Keep going because I can't do anything at this moment. Keep going.
You roll this joint real quick, cause y'all niggas.
Okay, I'm back. Hold on one quick second, and I am going to share the screen. Hello,
Okay.
everybody at the BIPOC Happy Hour. We're just letting everybody know this is voting season. We will be voting on November 3rd. At this moment, we're looking to put together a team to help get the voting word out. So we are looking for volunteers and support. Our phone number is 763-412-6170. Email mnpocpride@mnpocpride.org. Or if you just want to give a donation, text MNPOC Pride to 243-725. Again, 243-725. Again, this is voting season, and we'd love everybody to participate and help out. Now, with that message being shared, we're going back to the show. What are we talking about now, people?
Can I say one thing? Because my grandma really wants me to get youth to vote, Black youth to vote. And I know that, like, you know, we choosing between two different fascists, but this is what I'll say about voting for all the radicals and all the militants out there. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't try to kill us to do it. If voting wasn't important, they wouldn't be killing us to stop us from doing it. Thank you.
Yes,
That's all I have
Hello,
to say.
the feds are watching. The feds are watching.
They already got a profile on me.
See, but that is so true.
I
mean, actually suppressing. I mean, making sure you know we're suppressing your vote. That's how bad we don't want you to do it.
Those words was poetry, hon. I like that.
Ashe, thank you.
So that's what we're talking about GOTV this week and trying to figure out how do we get more engagement of people. And like,
what is GOTV?
Huh?
What is that? GOTV.
Get out to vote. Okay, what you got to do? Get out to vote. Mail it in, take it in, walk it in, whatever, drive it in. You know, get on your donkey or whatever it is. Get out there and vote. GOTV. I mean, phone banking, knocking on doors, canvassing. All that is going on in the last 60 days.
Carpooling.
You gotta make voting sexy.
How do we do that? That's it.
I don't know. If people pledge to vote, they gotta get something. I don't know.
We can't give them nothing. That's illegal. But I mean,
it's against the law. We gotta figure out something else.
Is that we can't exchange monetary things or barter?
No, not monetary. I mean, come on. Our people
I'm
have
just clarifying.
We should design a T-shirt that we give away that says "I voted," and get an artist to do a really cool front of you and just give it to people. No, you know, that said they voted. Just don't care who it is. Just vote.
We're talking about voting, so like she said, it must be important if they was trying to kill us. I mean, what does it mean to each one of us for us to vote? Why are we voting? You know what I mean? I know one of the reasons why we vote is for things like Nietzsche Nash getting married. You know, because if we didn't vote last time for it, you know, it wouldn't be legal in many states today. You know, so those are some of the issues the reason why we need to vote, because some folks are not paying attention to that Black people of color, LGBTQI or whatever other letters into it, community, because, you know, if we need more people. I can't wait till we get a gay person up there, LGBTQ president up there doing something, you know, that'd be awesome. I mean, don't change the house to rainbow or nothing like that.
Don't hate on the rainbow.
It's already been two colors. It's been, people don't know the original White House was black. You know what I'm saying? It was literally black. And then they painted it white. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey,
They saw the nation supremacy.
how you doing?
How you do?
Just saying. Just saying.
Right. But no,
So, what's next?
Who's next?
I was wondering, how do we get more people civic engagement, or at least tell them about local elections? Because that's more important than anything.
I
How
feel
do
like
we-
you gotta get people's stories out there first. Like if we could get a YouTube channel where like black people in the community, black leaders in the community just talked about like the good, the bad, and the ugly with their participation in local politics, and like made it a cool series, maybe even like Harlem Renaissance, black and white, all smoky. Ooh, then maybe people will be like, oh, okay, like I really like, you need a noise permit if you're gonna host a block party. And then, if you know your lobbyist, then you know more about the like inner circle drama that happens with our House and Representatives. And that's just fun to know. Like, let's know the tea. Like, let's know which lobbyists are, sleeping with who. Let's know which senators smoke weed. Like, if we frame it like that, people might actually see how like all of life is a play. Let's write our own dramas.
Well, it's not taught in any school. You know that. So how do you get them engaged outside of school and moving forward with it?
so that means it needs more people that's younger than us that we see on this panel. Not
That's
you,
why I said school.
but we need younger folks out there able to talk to us, talk to them, because I'm 42 years old. The only reason why I'm still here and kind of hip and on TikTok and everything, because I'm surrounded with young folks. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the blessing that I have. I have young people around me. So maybe we need these young folks out there so they can get the other young ones out there, because ones that look like us, we already know. We just stuck in, some folks are just stuck in their ways. They just don't care. So what's going to make a difference is the youngins getting out there and do what they do.
Would it be nice if they taught it in school? You know what I mean?
I don't
That's
trust
something
teachers.
just like economics. They should be teaching real life situation economics instead
Well,
of
if they
that
took
bullshit
economics-
playhouse stuff.
If they took
Meanwhile, we have a new face on the line. You all didn't notice that?
No, we noticed. Hey, Ryan.
We have Ryan on the line.
Hello.
What's poppin'?
What up, nephew?
What's going on? How's
He's a
everybody
young
doing?
voice. He's 20 something. What do you think?
What about what?
He's the voice of the youth.
Repeat the question.
Being a voice of youth, do you think, how do we get young people to vote, or young people to get involved in voting?
Excuse me?
Huh?
You said being the voice of the young people. What about
You
voting?
are. How do we get them to vote? How do we get them to come out? How do you get them involved?
Shit, give them a reason.
What would be the
Give 'em a
reason?
reason. Yo, a lot of them
What would be
smoke
the
weed.
reason?
A lot of them smoke weed. Use that to their advantage.
All right, somebody mentioned that. What else?
Oh no, you gotta find what they like to do. What kind of
We're
interest they
asking
have.
somebody that's
You're
in
asking
that
because you
group.
fall in their category.
Right, you are
Right.
explaining, what the youth want. So
You are the youth.
Man, I'm 27 years old. What you talk about youth? What you talking about?
Well,
You talking
27
about-
years old.
Huh?
You do,
Yo,
my
you make it
generation,
seem
my
like I'm
generation. You always talk
15
about
or
what your
something.
generation want. So
Huh?
tell us what they want.
I don't know what they want, man.
Well, we know we was what they want, but
That's
what
what makes
See,
it difficult to
see?
find a system to teach our youth, because nobody really knows the how to establish something. Is that what the problem is?
well, they're not going to teach our youth, because they're not even teaching them our history correctly. So
How did we learn? How do we learn? How do we learn about politics?
honestly, I don't know. The only reason why I know because I live in Washington D.C. But do I know anything about politics? No, I don't. I'm not going to argue with you.
My
So
first
it
time
actually
voting, I
starts
voted in
with
school.
us.
There's this thing called popular education.
Okay.
It's called what?
Popular education. And I think that groups like us, we can play a role in that. There's a wealth of knowledge among folks that are on the screen. We can put together a training curriculum and offer these free classes and free knowledge and information to those in our communities so they can know how to be better advocates for themselves because they have a better understanding of how these systems work. I know like a lot of folks don't like these systems, but unfortunately,
That's what we
Play
got.
by the rules.
to get shit right now until we've created this alternative. You know, that ain't here yet.
Right.
And so in the meantime, to make some progress, we got to engage in these systems. And so I think that we can help educate folks.
Okay.
I
Hey.
think that's
So
a hard sell though. Sorry.
hey. Well, how about this? How about this? Can we like can we use this kind of as a working meeting tool in a sense? So say for instance, if I think that's a great idea about us as a committee of people that are coming from all these different places to one place. I think that would be smart for us to do something like offer, and I heard somebody, throw this out earlier, like a YouTube, videos or whatever, but like offer some series of videos in which, okay, one video is about explaining the branches of government. You know what I'm saying? One of them is about, letting you know what the difference is between judicial, legislative, and whatever the fuck the other one is. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Good
I
idea.
think it's a hard sell though to be like to tell, especially Black youth, like my parents and I get into fights all the time about respectability politics and stuff because I feel like a lot of youth are like, if your notions of working within the system worked, why are we here? I think a lot of black youth want to see all this burn. A lot of Black youth like just want the whole system to go to HE double hockey sticks.
Right.
I'm with the Black youth on that one,
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say about that is I want y'all to look at these communities that, this happened to back in the 60s. You look at the west side of Chicago, some places in the south side of Chicago, that shit still ain't been rebuilt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And they took alternatives, right?
We sit and we now have condemned our communities to a certain kind of poverty because they're going to hesitate to come back in and reinvest.
I think that's why we need solidarity economies. Let's not rely on the government.
It's shown us.
But I think what these kids are
fighting. Look at Compton. What have they done in all these places that had these riots?
But I understand.
Right. That's a really good point, though.
What these kids are trying to let them know is, let's get these ones that's over 50 out of these offices, because these are ones that they stuck in these ways and want to keep Jim Crow going.
Right. So run.
Right. So it's like right.
The system works.
You still got to learn the system in order to run and be a part of or to overthrow or whatever, right? There's still a system that that we still have to work within, correct?
I think you'll be a better sell to say, why don't we listen to our ancestors? Like, our Black folk, our indigenous folk, like, let's learn, it was the Mayans who invented the sewage system, not white people.
Yeah,
it was the Moors who invented soap. So, like, if you tell, I feel like Black youth are like, I don't want to learn about Columbus. That man was fraudulent. They want to learn about the Creole explorers that come from. They want to understand why Irish folk and Black folk have a similar lineage, because Egyptian folks were the first to sail the ocean blue. They need to know that kind of information before they're like, okay, now that I know they prayed for me 7 generations ago, maybe I can deal with the BS to get me to the next level. But like, we need to teach folks how to time travel to a space where Black and brown folks actually had the utopias they tell us we cannot create today.
Well, you know what? I think collectively we all were kind of, and this is gonna be my age showing a little bit. Like I felt the one time in my existence that I remember feeling anything that's close to what you were just describing right there, Baki, is the Back to Africa movement of like the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like when hip hop was all about that shit, when the movies that we produced was all about that shit, where the books that were coming out. I mean, everybody that was on television, even on a talk show representing Black people in any way, they was on some revolutionary. They was talking that talk. I mean, that's why you got what's his name, Roy Enos and Al Sharpton duking it out on Geraldo and stuff. We've always had we always been a community divided in a sense in so many ways, but definitely on our approaches to how we do things. And this is like a problem that's been holding our movements. And the reason why I say our movements is because we all got the same, we all talking the same thing at the end of the fucking day. We all want to get it just as bad as the next person wants to get it, no matter what our age is, no matter what our experience has been. We want to see Black folks win up in this piece, you know, and that's the bottom line. And so I think, you know, the other aspects of white supremacy end up kind of seeping into, you know what I'm saying, our efforts all the time, because there is that kind of push and pull where, you know, people that believe in respectability politics and believe they have a place, and then it's also other people who see that it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, but because the system is what it is, and again, it's not your brother that's fucked up, it's not, you know, the people that look like you that's messed up just because they have different opinions. It's just, you know, the system is designed it so that we just feel that that's what it is, and to distract us from our goals and to just throw us off in so many ways. And it's just basically get us to submit, you know what I mean? And so, you know, we talk about, you know, not wanting to be a part of the two-party system and shit. We had 4 years to take care of that whole belief that we do not want to be a part of a two-party system. But did we, you know, actually do that? Or did we actually get active on the year of election when George Floyd got, you know, killed? It took 3, you know what I'm saying, years for motherfuckers to remember, oh, damn, this was the objective. This is what we were supposed to be going for. You know what I mean?
The objective has been going on for years, though.
Years.
I mean, how long do you think these boots going to continue to walk? These hills going to hold up? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we keep marching, we keep doing it peacefully. You know what I mean? These kids
we do it in every way.
These kids are saying, okay, understand what y'all saying. I understand what y'all saying. The things that is happening, and it's happening in our neighborhoods, and it's going to bring the poverty level down. I understand it.
Exterminate us.
But the question is, you know, how long do we supposed to do? This is supposed to be done 20 years ago with Martin King. You understand what I'm saying? But we still dealing with this now. And back then we were still marching and doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it still haven't.
And it was hella niggas away.
Well, remember, I hate to cut in, but I need to remind you all are on an island that was not created for you to have anything. It was wrote in the policies that you and your kind will have nothing on this island.
Correct.
So until
how do we
start
evolve?
talking, until we start actually writing those policies, and it's in the written work, because nothing is real until it's wrote on paper, as we all know. If it ain't in ink, and if it ain't wrote in ink, it ain't real. So that's where we are now. And the getting the kids to learn politics and all that, we're just not starting early enough.
Well, I think a lot of adults don't understand what's going on either.
We're just not starting early enough.
In the household, the ones with parents, are they sitting there teaching these kids about politics? Because I know I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not at home telling my kids about politics. I'm teaching them how to bank, how to save his credit at the age of 5 years old. You know,
and that's another system.
But my question,
I'm not teaching them about politics.
Steiner, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I was saying it's a collective responsibility being, you know, a citizen and participating. And so we do have bills at the legislature trying to get civics education taught from pre-K through 12 as part of our education curriculum. And so there is, you know, bills there. The problem is, you know, our state government is divided, and there's some legislators who do not support that. And so it's stalled. And so there are some efforts trying to get it into at least the school curriculum so that kids are starting younger, they're learning about it the whole time they're in school. And then it's less of a burden on us as nonprofits to try to take it upon ourselves to try to get people to go vote, because it's something that they, you know, would have grown up with and, you know, understand, you know, what's at stake if they don't participate.
Well, with an initiative like that, why are we not bringing it into our community? Regardless if it's a state, regardless if it's a national or anything like that, why us as a Black community not trying to create those programs so we can educate ourselves, our children, regardless if the public schools are doing it? Why are we not doing that?
You know what I feel like y'all are proposing? Two things. Y'all remember during the Harlem Renaissance, the way Black artists were able to get a lot of stuff done is because of Fire, a magazine, a publication. They
Fire
created
Nation.
their
Yes,
own.
yes,
That's
yes.
where Richard Bruce Nugent, Langston Hughes, that's where everybody, even Zora Hurston like started smoking cigarettes at a cafe where Fire, the magazine was being edited at the same time. So I feel like we just need to take over these coffee shops.
That's what I'm
get
saying.
our own art, really put it out there, make it again like a movement to support each other's intellect. Also, why don't we just take over a government building, land occupation? Shout out to AIM. Come on, our native ancestors. Let's take over a building. Let's take over a school. Classes now in session. Let's go.
You know what happened?
Oh, let's do it virtually.
We can create our own.
Yeah.
Let's do it virtually. Let's call it. Let's smoke history. Let's smoke history. You understand what I'm saying? We just do it virtually because the kids are into weed. I don't know if it's legal yet. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm about to do
working on it. We working on
it. A virtual smoking joke. You feel what I'm saying? So we can do like let's smoke history. Let's smoke Let's smoke in politics. You feel what I'm saying?
Us as a culture, if we make it more normal,
right?
Even if we normalize the whole thing, it wouldn't matter.
You can do whatever. You can do hookah. You can just sit there and just chill and listen. It's just something to gravitate the most of the people that's wanting to listen. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of folks that smoke watch it. Maybe.
But even at that, if you start that earlier, like when they're 5 and 6 and don't have a clue, then you become, as generations go, they become accustomed to listening to that. They learn more.
But Ray, my question to you is, because I had this question a while ago, how would you teach a 5 or 6 year old about politics? Like, what would you sit a 5 or 6 year old down and say to them regarding politics?
I talk to them just like I talk about any other subject. Just like I talk about how you have to drive your car and watch out for the police. I talk to them about politics just like that.
You can use the cartoons.
And always have
autonomy.
They do have cartoons.
Right.
They can understand.
No, you can use those cartoons.
They also have Kids Vote, which was defunded, unfortunately, from the legislature. But they used to go in and they let the kids vote, like in the presidential elections. They do kid ballots. And so the kids get to actually fill out a little ballot, put it in the box, and then the teacher counts it. And so they get to, participate in an election. And so stuff like that, not like a
I believe communities should be doing stuff like that.
They would make it age appropriate.
Us as a Black community, we should be doing that amongst us to teach and educate ourselves, everybody around us, instead of just waiting on the government to do that.
But like
Brian, we do in churches.
Kwanzaa programming, low key.
Right.
Yeah, like Brian said, do a cartoon.
I don't know. Have y'all ever watched the kid cartoons? I don't know. A lot of that is politics. If you
we used to watch the old ones, like with the one that come on Saturdays.
No, if you watch those. If you watch those shows now as an adult and pay attention, a lot of that is politics.
It is.
Like you talking like Boondocks and all that, that's all politics.
And if you're watching them with your kids, that's the perfect time to discuss it in a comfortable environment.
What they're talking about.
Right, it makes sense.
Who let their children watch Boondocks?
Well, I mean, it's anything, because a lot of things are politically based.
Sesame Street, all of that.
Sesame Street, all of that.
That's all politics.
Yeah, Sesame Street been doing it for years, though.
And we need to now start that campaign to actually blend that into the conversation. Because if we start that conversation now, it'll catch on down the line.
But even this year, I mean, the voting's in November. I mean, why couldn't you just set up a location and have kids come in and vote and see who they want to vote for?
I mean, we can still do that. I mean, we just got a location, then put it out there. That way, it can make it fun for the kids in a way. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Kids are different than we were because they got their own personal computers at a little age, so they know quite a bit.
You can do it virtually for the kids too.
I would say virtually, do a virtual vote because they all have their iPad.
That way,
but you also got to give them a reason to come. You gotta give them a reason to come.
We can give them a reason to come. We just can't do it for the adults.
For the adults.
We can.
What was the reason that we gave for the children or the youth?
We can give the youth something. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Yeah, like especially like kids. I mean, they be happy with a piece of candy.
Candy. I mean, we got older kids too.
That's some stuff we need to start looking into creating for community activities. But we do need civic engagement. We lose that as we get out of school, unless you're a political geek.
So one of the things I used to do in my classes when I was working with young folks is I do an exercise in democracy. We would have them vote on the type of pizza that they like. And so some folks, you know, may like cheese, somebody may like sausage, somebody may like veggie. And so they break into these little groups. And then they get to vote, and we eliminate the group that has the less amount of people. And they have to go and try to lobby the other groups. And so you can have exercises that teach them. And the pizza that wins, we actually ordered, you know, everybody pizza for a pizza party or something like that. And so there are a bunch of exercises, and all this stuff is on the internet. Like y'all can find it because I just Googled these exercises to like teach folks how to do it. So
I don't know if you remember, Uncle Ray, but in 8th grade, remember when Obama was running? My school did a whole thing like if you go vote, you get extra credit. Yeah. So I voted at what, Sabathani?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think kids should be immersed in that at an early age, even earlier. Because, like I said, the church is the biggest thing. I mean, you can teach that kind of stuff. You know, just get in the habit of hearing it. I don't think that's bad. I think as we didn't hear politics a lot, so we don't know much about it. I think we need to, as a
politics is never.
I feel like as part of that, we should teach kids. I feel like as part of that, we should teach Black and brown kids what they're gonna tell their teacher as far as why they do not pledge to the flag. Because I'm telling all my kids, all my Black and brown babies, I'm like, so what are we gonna tell our teacher? Like, is your teacher nice? Is your teacher mean? Does your teacher listen to you? Because you're not standing for the flag. So let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you say brown kids, who you talking about?
When I say Black and brown, I say that in the context of understanding that, like, there's a lot of solidarity movements and how white supremacy moves, as well as the African diaspora. So I'm talking Afro-Latino folks. I'm talking indigenous folks. I'm even talking about my Filipino siblings. I'm talking about
because I
ain't white.
You know what I'm saying? Folks that are touched by the diaspora.
Because I run with a lot of like Africans and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, those kids know politics at a very young age because they understand why their parents had to leave their country.
They talk about it.
They talk about it. The only community that don't talk about it is us.
Yeah, it's not a good conversation.
Talk about it. I think we talk about it in different ways.
I never even once talked about it.
That's where hip hop comes in, y'all. That's where hip hop always comes in. Because that's the way that we end up teaching, you know what I'm saying, the young motherfuckers or the old motherfuckers, what we need to understand.
That is true, because Cardi
all the time.
Like that are putting themselves out there and telling them to vote, you know what I mean? It's all about, I mean, we just got to find out ways besides hip hop, everyone just needed to collective.
What I'm saying, that's,
and if you believe in it, you feel what I'm saying? Because some folks just don't believe in it. You know, and I don't believe that it should be in church too. I mean, leave church
all everywhere.
Yes,
it should be a way of life.
Because like, there's some the whole Kamala Harris thing. There's like misrepresentation of people saying she's the first Black woman to make it that far, and maybe she's the first for like vice president, but president we already know. And then also like during Reconstruction. Right before, lynchings increased, there was a lot of Black politicians, y'all. There was a lot of Black politicians in primarily Republican parties.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like
that was before it switched over.
I feel like, exactly, because you can talk about the flip. But I feel like there's always been like in Black history, every time we get 2 steps ahead, we get pushed 3 times back. And history likes to erase those 2 steps forward.
Yeah, yep, all the time.
It's like
that's what they thrive on, that to try to erase. I mean, because that's the only way that they can, really take us down. Like it's like taking you down by a peg or something like that. I mean, it's the psychology shit that we like buy into every time as a collective. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Like we gotta start thinking of it differently, or at least welcoming the conversations around thinking about it differently.
That's why I'm also really sad but that's why I'm also really sad that there's not more like Black and Native solidarity, because
Yeah,
like the same
yeah.
ways white people like to dupe us, they got
Yep.
their blueprints for how they did Native folks with these treaties.
Yep,
And how
yep.
divide and conquer. If you want to talk about divide and conquer, let's talk about First Nations versus Native American versus American Indian. Like we can
Right,
talk about like you
right.
know what I'm saying, like in even just different tribe folk, like because Lakota, Dakota, and Ojibwe, they don't even mess with each other in Minnesota. You know, we have
That's
different
African.
civil-
That's African
you know what I'm saying?
communities also.
Yeah, that's deep in the African
That
community.
yeah, it's African, but that's everywhere, all over
That's
the
who
world.
we are. That's who we are.
So everything
Yeah.
is so tribal. Is that what you're saying? Everything's
Yeah,
tribal.
Well,
everything
we
is
all got
tribal.
our tribe at the end of the day.
Well, a lot of folks look down on us because, especially our African people, because you know, I
Yeah.
have a lot of friends from Ghana and Sierra Leone, and they look at us different because we have a lot of things on our plate and at our hand that we don't take advantage of. And when they come from places like Africa, they take advantage of everything they can. You know, they try to learn everything they know.
But there's a big difference in when, but the thing is, when you go from one place to another, especially like you coming from Africa and you coming to America, man, you're gonna try to learn everything to try to get more money. You gotta understand, in Africa, the government don't just give out money.
They don't.
So when they come here, oh, the government is giving out money. Oh, we about to find out everything we need to do in order to get that money. The thing is, Black people has always been here, so we don't know that.
And
we don't know what we can and can't do. Most people don't even know. Most African Americans don't even know that they can claim their kids all the way up to age 25.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that, and I learned that from Africans. I was wondering how my friend 25 years old, and his mom still getting 10,000 for him.
Yeah,
See, these are conversations we need to be discussing.
And then they smart. They come over here and make all their money and take care of their moms and their dads.
But I wouldn't even call it smart. It's just that's what happens when you go somewhere that you're not from. You just learn all the rules.
A different response to oppression with their unique relationship with the diaspora.
Right.
It's kind of like if we was to go to Africa, we would learn all their rules real quick.
Even before we got on the plane.
Exactly. We're gonna learn all their rules real quick. But we
I
always
feel
been
like we
here,
should
so
start
we
talking
don't.
more though about, instead of getting money, like I'm like, okay, yes, I want a lot of money too, and I'm worried about bans. But like, if you see the most dangerous Black people in America are the Black, in society's view, is Black people who figure out how to get food outside of the grocery store. Black people who figure out how to get land, who own land. Owning land used to get you really caught up, because even white people don't have privileges unless they own land. So I'm like, solidarity economies. I'm like, I'm not like, if I ever make it big off of any of my art, I'm like, I'm gonna buy land. I'm buying
right.
Real estate.
Well, told me that their value's in the land and not in the house. You know what I mean?
Yes, correct.
Told me that, and and I don't knock nobody. You know what I mean? We all can live together. It's just that we just got to realize each other's issues and work with it. You know what I mean? And don't put a knee in each other's neck. Because we do it amongst our own community ourselves. We drag each other down. That's why they look at us like crabs.
But even at the
way, because this is an opportunity now for us to write our own history, and all these buildings that folks keep referring to that's been burnt down. Maybe it's time for us to figure out where the money we can get and open it up.
I've already been doing that.
Open our own shenanigans. You know what I mean? Barbershop, smoke, whatever it is, we can do it. I mean, like in here is no soul food here. I'm a chef myself, but there's a reason why I won't do soul food here, because I think it's expensive. And then look where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? But
they would complain so much if it had any spice in it.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm complaining because the soul food up here is different. Hey, I'm complaining. They don't cook it right.
They don't.
We have to think about, if we're gonna make our buildings, we have to make them bomb-proof, because it's not like Black people haven't been here before. It's just anytime we have our own communities, they make Central Park out of it. They make graveyards out of it. They build these white institutions on top of our land. Because Tulsa isn't the only time they did that. They did it in Boston. They did it all over. So it's like, yes, we can have our own communities. I think we should do it. If I was to do this, writing history and get our buildings, I'm trying to be I want to be solidarity. I wanted to have it like Black neighborhoods are like intersectional with like, Hispanic, Native, Jewish too. Like I'm saying Irish too. I'm saying like, let's beef up, let's squad up. Bacon's rebellion. It's the haves versus the have-nots. And now we got it all. That's what I'm saying. So then they can't do this whole like, oh, you're going to talk just about identity politics. Okay, then I'm going to use oppression to hurt you. Sorry, I smoked just enough to get real antsy.
I know.
But also another big issue in our community is that Black people don't share information. Black people want to charge you an arm and leg for some information. Make you want to go through hula hoops to get information. When you look at like these Somali communities, man, everything's word of mouth. This person got this person got this. One person can tell like 1,000 people. And they all go do that. Black people, we don't do that. We hide information from people.
So what information you think we need? You understand?
Everything.
I like what?
Everything like what?
Everything that's gonna make us do better in life, I guess. I don't think it's just one information. I think we need everything.
How to pay your taxes, how to file for an LLC, how to get a noise permit, how to combine bills so that like how to buy land, how to use redlining against white supremacy, how to speak in these white institutions, how to use code words and code languages, how to learn about frats and how white people use frats for nepotism, all of that.
I feel like all of that can be researched on your own, though.
Yeah, but some people ain't got the time to do all that, man.
Or different learning.
Some people, but why can't I come to you? You my neighbor. Why can't I come to you and ask you a question?
I wouldn't have no problem with that.
Well, not only that, why when you find out information, you just don't put it out there in the world? Like
because black people wasn't taught that shit.
Like you just told me about the COVID stuff. I didn't take 2 steps. I posted automatically. Hey, you need help with business. You need help with everyday life. Google COVID-19 relief. For grants. You know what I'm saying? So it's about what each one of us do. Once we find out, are we just gonna put it in our pocket and we gonna do it ourselves, or we can use social media and just let everybody? Because anyone, you can just type it. It don't take no time to type it. Anyone can share it. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's what he's basically saying. As soon as you find out something, oh, they're giving out turkeys at St. John's down the street. Won't you post it? Don't be like, let me get down there first and get mine before I let everyone else know.
Let me taste it first before I tell anybody.
I mean, that's how Black folks work.
I usually have the
that's definitely me.
tendency to want to share information because of the work that I do.
Because that's how Black folks work. Let me get mine first. And then
but I don't want to give you the wrong information. What a turkey nasty? So let me taste it first real quick. I don't want to give you the wrong information.
We're gonna find out.
Let me see if it's some good turkey.
We're gonna find out.
I to start organizing for things. I find out information. I want to learn more. I hit up the group chat. I think it's about that, but it's also about skill shares. I think I'm like, what if we get together, every Tuesday, and then everybody has to put on a 5-minute PowerPoint about something they're passionate about. We drink, we smoke, we give each other criticism, we give each other validation and recognition about sharing knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. All right.
We got somebody from Minnesota marijuana visit us tonight. Thanks for coming.
You said what?
Introduce yourself.
We do a wake and bake in the morning time. So I invited the wake and bake crew to come see us. And so she's from the wake and bake crew that we do in the morning time. They do it 5 days a week. Huh?
The wake and bake is online?
Yes, every morning from 9:30 to 10:30. Go ahead, you can tell them.
Yeah, we do the wake and bake every morning on Zoom from 9 to 10:30, and we also have the wake and bake page if you guys want to join it, and you'll be able to also we have giveaways, we have events, we have nice events for to get people to come out and vote. I try to do as much as I can to promote like people come out.
Hey, what about, not to interrupt you, on the 20th, they're having a stash box.
It's the 19th. It's the 19th. We having stash box part 2.
Give us your email address. Give us your website address.
Stash box. What is
It's smoke all you want, eat all you want. Have a good day. Go ahead.
Okay.
Page. So just search the Wake and Bake Crew on Facebook. You'll
Oh,
find
What is that web? What is that
I can't
page
see my
address?
Facebook
Anybody?
right now.
He said Wake and Bake on Facebook. Good.
Wake
'cause
and
I-
Bake
Anybody know
Crew.
that?
Wake and bake with an N, not N.
They
N.
hold my page
Yeah.
hostage on
The letter
Facebook.
N.
Okay.
I'm not.
Wake and Bake
I'm
it.
not. I'm not dealing with the devil anymore. I'm serious.
You on Facebook right now?
Man, no. Zoom is a Facebook company.
All right,
Oh, we're
everybody.
being broadcast.
We're about to leave out. Anybody got any last minute
Yeah,
announcements?
Thank you
they
for
wanna
having me. Sorry, I talked
Thank
a lot.
you
I
guys
just
for
wanted to be like
letting me
rah-rah.
talk.
Thank you for being on. Come back.
Text to give, y'all.
I am.
What's the-
Again, thank you everybody for joining us for the BIPOC Happy Hour. Our BIPOC Happy Hour is a production of Minnesota People of Color Pride. We thank everybody. We'll see you all the next time.
We need a theme
Everybody,
song.
peace out.